Hey Flosstube, this is Jandy. I'm Jandy Sews here on YouTube or Jandy Dean on Instagram. This is Flosstube number 3. So we're still working on the things. I changed locations today. This is probably not the best background, but the lighting I think is really good. So we'll see how that goes. If the lighting works out, I think I'm going to move my desk from where it is over here to somewhere else so that I can use all of the pretty things that I actually have my desk facing my pretty walls because I'm the one who looks at that all day. But it would be a nice background. I'd put it in the background now and just have my desk in the background, but no, nobody wants to see that mess. So we're going to try out the lighting, try out the sound in here today, see how it works, and then I will worry about trying to get my husband and son to move around some furniture for me. But I wanted to make sure I liked it before I did. I am sitting in my office chair, and when I like scoot around, I think it makes a little bit of noise. So I'm going to really try hard not to do that. We'll see how that goes. Today, what I wanted to do is really talk about my new starts because, oh my gosh, January was new start crazy. I tend to be more of a monogamous stitcher. I'll have like 8 or 10 whips, though maybe that's not very monogamous. I feel like I am, but like I get really, really focused on one thing or 3 things. Like I really get focused. What is very hard for me is if I put something away as a whip, like I start to lose interest, it's not as likely that I'll ever pick it back up again. So I do really try to stitch fast and get it out while I'm still really excited about it. And I'll talk about things being like, this was a fast stitch, this was quick. It's not necessarily that it didn't take lots of hours or it wasn't a lot of stitches. I mean, because we all, we know those things take a lot of time. But to me, I consider something fast if I was able to work through it from beginning to end without deciding that I didn't like it anymore, or that I wasn't interested, or, ooh, a squirrel, like, right? Like that, I just realized that's what happens sometimes. So anyway, January. Why does every sew along start on January 1st? Like they're killing me. So many things started on January 1st and I wanted to do them all. So, I have no self-control. It's fine. I think I should start out with the 2 whips that I've actually touched since my last video. And there are only 2 and I barely put a dent in either of them. And then go into all of my new starts because those are the ones I'm really excited about. So first of all, current whips or whips that I came into the new year with that I worked on. The first one is Cherry Magpie. If I can figure it out, I'll show a picture here of where it was at. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to figure that out. And let's be honest, I only put 88 stitches into this, so the picture's not going to be very different. But Cherry Magpie from JetX. I love this so much, and I'm pretty sure what I put in was this little motif down here. I think that's 88 stitches. Pretty sure that's what I put in. So, and I've got my notes over here, excuse me. So I've put in 88 stitches for a total of 6,670 out of 11,948, which is at 56%. Pretty sure it was at about 56% before. I don't know what the point things are because it's not, I didn't make note of that. I just put 56. So, but I love this. I want to work on it. I want to work on it all the time. But my eyes just can't with this fabric. This is 16 count Roxy Floss Co. Temptation. I'm also using the Roxy Floss Co. Flosses because they're beautiful, like that conversion. Absolutely beautiful. It's just a darker fabric. It's hard to stitch on in the evenings, which is when I usually have time to stitch because I do work a full-time job. So that's that. The next one that I did have a chance to work on is a Season Keeper Winter from Barbara Anna Designs. I put in 340 new stitches on this, bringing it up to 17%. Oh, and I accidentally grabbed some of the floss that went with this. So, but here she is. She's so cute. I just put in some more of this, and you can see the blue, it was stuck to the fabric. That's the color I was putting in. I think I put in some of the yellow and light purple. So everything like in the dress. This is a really fun stitch. This was my winter solstice stitch. So I started this on December 21st. I would like to finish this up within the next month. I just need to spend some time. It's really fun to stitch. It is on the Stitch Me 16 count in Lunar. It's just the prettiest color. So love this. We're gonna finish it. It's gonna get done. So that's it for those. Again, they're the only two I went into that I worked on because I started all the sew-alongs. So the first sew-along I started was the Winter Woodlands sew-along. This came out on the 1st. It's from Historical Sampler Company. I always say Society, and I figured out why. I had the folder that I save all of the patterns I purchased from them in, labeled as Historical Sampler Society. So that's why I kept thinking that's what it was, because I made an error a long time ago and finally fixed it. Anyway, Winter Woodlands sampler. The first part came out on the 1st of January. The second part came out yesterday, which was January 15th. Today's January 16th. Didn't say it, but now we know. Today's January 16th. Anyway, so this is how much I have done on this. So I finished the first part completely, and then I put in, I think like 600 stitches of the second part. I've got, I think about 800 left. So it's really cute. I did notice after I stitched it, I'm a little annoyed. It's a mistake. It's not a big deal. So, but on the chart, can you see? The tree, what is that called? The tree trunk. So went up into the greenery on one of them and did not on the other. And I stitched it as it was on the one where it went all the way up into it, because that's the part of the chart I was looking at when I did that tree. And then I just went over and did the other tree because they're symmetrical. And the other one was not that way. And I think the first one was just a mistake because all of the trees, they don't go up into the greenery. And there are only 4 stitches on each side. It just means I've got to frog them out and fix it. So I will be doing that today and then finishing that up. This is 16 count from Atomic Ranch in the color pair. It's really nice. This is a bit, I feel like it's a little bit more drapey than the Stitch Me. And I don't know how I feel about it, but it is like just the prettiest color. And it is nice. It's nicer than a lot of, it is really nice. It's really nice. I've just, because I've been sewing so much on the other, or stitching so much on the others, I like just really noticed it today. I was like, oh, this is like, it's just a little bit softer. All right. Okay, this one I am very excited about. I am doing the Little Acorns sew along for 2026 from Modern Folk Embroidery. It is just a beautiful piece. It is charted monochromatically, but of course you can do whatever you'd like. So I am doing these colors from Color and Cotton. I'm doing this gradient. So it's browns, greens, and reds. This is a Christmas pack that they had. So the green is called Yule Log, or Yule Log Landing. The brown is called Reindeer Ridge. And then we've got Cocoa Chalet, Caroller's Corner, and Holiday Haven. I think anytime I see brown, I think fall. So to me, this was fall, and Acorns to me is fall. So these went together. So I'm doing that, and my goal is I have 5 different colors. I'm breaking up the chart into about like fifths, and then I'm changing out the color as I go down. So this is where I am at so far. So you can see I've got all of that green in, and then I've started working the brown over on this side. I have gone through 2 skeins already of that green. I'm hoping I have enough. I should. I have 4. I have 4. I should be able to get through. So, but I'm already on my 3rd skein. But anyway, I am breaking this up into, and I say about fifths, because I wanted really badly to fit this on this fat quarter that I already had. This is 16 count Be Stitch Me in Hot Cocoa. So pretty, and it's like the perfect color. But I didn't want to have to purchase a half yard. And I think I might have to take out one of the bands in order to get it to fit. So it's a problem I'm going to think about more as I get down here. I wish I had started this just a little bit further up, but I'm always a little bit afraid of those margins. So anyway, this is where I'm at. I did write it down. Where is it? I've done, let's see, I've done 5,236 of 26,335 stitches. So I'm at 20%. So anyway, I'm looking forward to working on this more. With the other pieces that I have, like the Winter Woodlands, my goal is always to get that knocked out the day of the mystery release, or like within a few days of the mystery release. So those are my priority right now. And then as soon as I have those caught up, then I get to get back to that. The next one. Hearing dogs bark, sorry. The next one is the Fox and Rabbit Mystery Sew Along. I am doing this on 16 count Be Stitch Me fabric in Frappuccino. I did pick out 3 colors. You could do it monochromatic, or there's instructions for doing it in 3 colors. So I picked out just, for my stash, I had this DMC 930, and then a color in cotton and pomelo. And then I did have this paired with ecru. So, I had it paired with ecru, and I stitched it in ecru. I started the first release that came out on the 1st. And I just hate the way that white looks when it's stitched. It just always feels like it looks so sloppy. And so I decided that I couldn't deal with that for an entire year. And so I restarted it, and I added in this color. It's 3827 DMC. I think it's pretty. But so I started stitching that on there, and I like the way it looks. But I'll tell you, I finished stitching that, and then I was looking at the ecru again. I was like, does it look as bad as I thought it did when I looked at it originally? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's fine. So I don't know where I'm at. But if you don't know anything about me, I love to leave things for future Jandy. It is her problem. Always. Like, it's her problem. I'm a jerk. So I leave things for her. Anyway, I started stitching this, and you can see it's not frogged out. It's still here. I just flipped my fabric around and started doing the other one. And I know I'm going to have to take that out eventually. But again, that is a future Jandy problem. And she can be mad at me later. Also, I thought, maybe I won't need this whole piece. Maybe that'll be extra and it can just be cut off, and I never needed to frog it. So wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it's a future Jandy problem. Okay. All right, the last one that was a sew along that I started is the Tiny Modernist, These Plants Can Kill. It came out yesterday as well, so on January 15th, the first part. Super excited about this one. It is very backstitch heavy, and I forgot how long backstitching takes. So I did get, do you think I did. So this first part was 1,216 stitches. So I finished the stitching yesterday, but there's some back stitching. So I am doing this on 16 count Be Stitch Me fabric in the shade Dusty Cottage. So pretty, and it's so perfect for something that's kind of spooky Halloween. Anyway, so this is what I have so far. You can see I started the back stitch, and the back stitch, oh, it is so lovely when it's done. It has, I mean, just so much detail that you don't get otherwise. But man, it takes a long time. But I love it. I think it's going to be so pretty when it's done. This is something I'm gonna just pull out, I guess, this weekend a little bit and work on it. My husband's like, what does that say? I'm like, Sungar. What do you mean? What do you mean? What does it say? Sungar, duh. Like, I think it's gonna say Poison Garden. I feel pretty confident that that's what it's gonna say. Spoiler alert, if you were upset that I maybe just spoiled the mystery for you of what that's gonna say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty sure it's gonna say Poison Garden or Sungar. Anyway, very cute. It's fun. I'm looking forward to this. Cheryl just is an amazing designer, and I just love all the things, and this is gonna be so fun to get done. All right, that brings me to my last thing, and it is another JetX, because oh my gosh, I love Jessica. I love her so much. She showed some sneak peeks on Instagram, and she posted on Flosstube yesterday her like new design at I think it's called the Pink Wren. I cannot wait. And she didn't say when it was being released, and I was like, but I need to put that on my calendar because I need to get it. She also talked about, you know, releasing to shops first before PDFs, and fair. I get why that happens. Like, I do. It just makes me a little sad because I always, I have a strong preference from working from PDFs, so I will have to wait until it comes. Which is also like the last release. I was so happy those came out on PDF. Oh, who was it? Kitty Stitch, Maddie. I was watching her video the other day, and she had just started I Like Cross Stitch, and she has it looks so pretty. Like, her fabric is fantastic. It's such a beautiful piece. Anyway, she goes, somebody on Instagram already has this done, and I was like, I think that's me. It's just like, it's crazy. And I'm like, yeah, it was a little crazy, but I couldn't put it down. And I can't wait to start another piece from her. I thought I was going to limit myself for most designers, like to one at a time. I know a lot of people do that. I think that's really smart. However, because I'm working on Cherry Magpie, and Cherry Magpie does not allow me to work on it at any time of day. I have to work on it during nice daylight hours. I feel like that I'm allowed to start another one. So I've actually kitted up, I've got Avery kitted up, and I have the bowl holder kitted up. I have Blueberry J kitted up, and 11 Rabbits. I'm trying to decide, I really want to do 11 Rabbits next, I think. But I'm trying to decide if the fabric I picked is going to be something that I can stitch on during the day. And if it's not, I don't know. I have two different choices for it. Like, they're both in the bag. I need to decide which one I'm gonna do. Like, I think I'll like the darker fabric better in the end, but I'll enjoy the stitching process more on the lighter fabric. And which one's more important? I don't know. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling before my last one. But this year I discovered the concept of blessing samplers. I had no idea that that was a thing. So if you were unaware, like I was unaware, It is a sampler that you start on January 1st with the goal of having it finished by the end of the month. It's supposed to bless your needle or bless your family. Just, you know, it's like a cute little fun thing to do. So I picked out the Ephemeral sampler from Jessica from JetX to do. And it's been so much fun to work on. So the pattern, if you haven't seen it, hopefully we've got the finished one right here. The model is stitched, well, okay. The DMC, it gives you two options for the floss. So you can go with either the bright colorway or the muted colorway. They're both beautiful. And then Jessica stitched the model with half and half. So you could see which one you prefer, or you could do it half and half like she did, because it's a really cool look. I know Sarah Stitchery, she is doing this as her blessing sampler as well, and she is doing it like the model is. I might kind of wish I had done that, but I do love mine. I love mine the way it is. I'm very happy with it. I'm like, do I want to stitch it again? Maybe I do. It's fine. Anyway, I am doing this on Be Stitch Me 16 count, because of course, in the color Blush. And I'm at 80%. I've done 9,138 stitches of 11,356 stitches. So this is where I'm at with this. And I just love it. I am using all of the called for DMCs in the bright colorway, with the exception of this really dark color that I used to fill in here. It's like a dark magenta purplish color. Michael's was out of the color that was called for there, so I pulled something out of my stash that I liked. I don't know how well it matches what was like originally supposed to be there. I just picked something, and I can't remember if I tried comparing or if I just pulled something out. Could have gone either way. I don't know. That was way back on the 1st of the month, and we've had 15 days since then, and I don't remember. But it's so pretty. I just got back from Charlotte Wednesday night or Thursday morning. My flight was delayed. It was awful. I survived. It was fine, but I was at the airport for many, many hours past when I should have been there. But I set myself up for success at the airport because I did like outline, like this part, and I did all of that fill in on one of the sides. At the airport, it was like 600 stitches, and I did it. I mean, it took like a couple hours, maybe. I don't know. I sat and, you know, did that, and it was great. Another thing I changed here, the letters, the D, E, H, L, and J, I did those in another color. It's just a variegated fancy floss. It's in Pickled Beets, but I can't remember the dyer. But I did those in different colors because those are the first initials of all of my immediate family that lives here. And I want it to bless all of us. So I thought it would be fun to do that in different colors. And that's something else. So on this one, on the Winter Woodlands, like I haven't put my initials in there. I left off the D and the J because I'm planning on probably doing those in a different color for my initials, unless somewhere in here there is actually a place to put my initials. If there ends up being a place to put my initials, then I'll go back and do them in the original colors. If there's not, then I'm going to put them there. But I had a friend ask me, she's like, because I had this one posted and I had that one posted and I hadn't filled it in yet with the other color. And she asked me what I had against the letter D because I was leaving it off of things. So I was like, oh, let me explain what's going on. It's because I want to put it in a different color. it's something fun. I saw somebody do that once, and just now anytime I do a sampler, I think I'm going to make sure my initials are in there, because I don't sign a whole lot of my work. And I think it's nice. I think it's nice to do. I do a lot of quilting, and I always make sure that I put a label on my quilts, or I try to make sure that I put a label on my quilt so that if somebody looks at it in the future, they'll know that I made it. And it's nice to be able to kind of do that same type of thing with my cross stitch. So yeah, that is it with that. I, again, love metrics. So I've managed to stitch every day this month so far, even while I was traveling. Although one of those days I only got in, it was under 100 stitches. So I don't even know if it counts, but I'm counting it. I'm counting it. I did it. It was like the 2 days that I flew, like I was in Charlotte. So the day I flew to Charlotte and the day I flew home, I got a lot of stitching done, because I stitched at the airport while I was waiting. When I had a lot of meetings. I got it together with my team. It was, which was really nice. I don't see them very often. So I did not do much stitching that day. And I will tell you, I only pulled it out and did a few stitches so that I could mark it off that I, that I had stitched. It's a goal. It's a goal to stitch every day this month. I've put in about 19,000 stitches this month, which feels wild to me. But January 1st was like a crazy, or wild, I should say, just kind of a wild day. I did a lot of stitching, and that whole weekend, I did get, just a lot done. So I'm happy with that. Again, I'm just trying to be consistent. So stitching a little bit every day, even if it's, under 100 stitches, at least it was something. Any progress is progress. So I'm happy with that. I am using, I use Markup RXP, which is why I prefer PDFs, because I can mark things off and it counts my stitches, which I love. I use that, and then I also use a spreadsheet that I purchased the template for on Etsy. And somebody, I know I wrote it down. So Jackie over at Cross My Stitches was talking about it on her Flosstube the other day, and I was like, oh, I use that. I love that. It is so nice because it tracks everything and it shows my progress, and I can easily just see where I've been spending time. It's why I noticed I had only worked on Cherry Magpie once. I might not have realized that otherwise. I'm going to try to work on that more this weekend because I do get a chance during daylight hours. So I'm going to try to do that. Like put that at the top of my list of things to work on Saturdays and Sundays when I do have a little bit of time. Jamie over at Leto X Cross Stitch, she has an amazing planner, and she went through that all on her Flosstube, and that speaks to me at a whole other level. I love writing things down. I love a paper planner. I am super bad at keeping up with it though, and like printing out pictures and all of those things. And so I'm like, I want to be Jamie. I want to be as organized and have that like beautiful planner because it's physical and feels really good. But for now, we're going with an Excel spreadsheet. Anyway, that's it. I'm planning on filming another Flosstube in a few weeks once I have some progress or some finishes. I'm just going to keep plugging away at these sew-alongs. I maybe, as soon as I finish this blessing sampler, I'm going to be starting another JetX stitch. And I have a few other things on my list that I want to start, including I'm doing the Fat Quarter Shop sew-along for Cherry Love. I'm doing mine on a denim look fabric because it's cherries, it's like red and green and pink, and it just feels really 90s to me, and I love it. I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be cute. Like just this little finish. So I'll be working on that. I'm not sure what else I have like planned. I keep hearing people talk about Nashville market, and I'm like, do I need to like slow my roll, make sure that I don't start too much because there's going to be a lot of stuff released that I'm going to want to work on, and I have no patience and no self-control, and I will definitely like just immediately start. I mean, maybe. So, but that's also, I think it's in March. Is it in March? If you know, I could look it up. I could look it up myself, but if you know, put it down there. Let me know. If there's anything else I should be on the lookout for, I should be working on. If there's a sew along that I haven't quite yet joined that you think I definitely should, tell me. Oh, there's another one. The Songs of the Season from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. That one starts on the 21st. I am signed up for that as well. I've got like 5 days until then. I can get these other ones. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll be good. Anyway, if you made it this far, please say hi in the comments. Ask me any questions. Like and subscribe. And I will see you next time.